Maybe you wake up in the morning and you feel a bit stiffness around your body. That could be in your neck, or maybe around your chest area, in your lower back, or maybe in your calf muscle and around your Achilles tendon. Maybe it's your connecting tissue, it typical is, that needs to be a bit more gliding and sliding. So imagine that you wake up in the morning and you put on a wetsuit. That is our connecting tissue. So that's gonna connect everything, muscle, tendons, and everything in our body. So we needed to be able to slide and glide so we can do the movements during the day, which is required to keep a healthy and a strong body. And you are maybe a bit sore in your calf muscle, and that could be a tightness around that area. So this session we are going to work with our connecting tissue. So when we do typical stretching, we are going to stay put in the position doing a static stretch. But now we are changing our focus a bit more for this movement of a system. So we are going to go into our exercise, into a movement, and we're going to do a little bit of a rhythm in that end. It's not because you're going to reach out for the end range of your stretch. You should just feel a little bit of a sliding and gliding, sort of like you are moldering your body. So we're going to start out just warming up a bit. So we're going to be standing in a bit of distance between our feet, and we're going to move from one side to the other one, stepping out of our toe, reaching up for that ceiling. So chin is in and chest is up. So swinging from one movement to the other one, just get ourselves started. So just reaching up. We're going to step back, and now we can feel a bit more of a stretch in our hip area. So toe just tapping behind and reaching up with our arms. So as we've been doing this for a little bit of a while, we're going to reach a bit further into the stretch. If you know that you have a tendency of hypermobility around your joint, you should go a little bit more easy. But just as all my other session here, you should always look after for yourself. And we're going to go in for a standing position, doing a rotation, staying up nice and tall, lowering our shoulders, and we are going to go and look the same way as our hands. So start to do some neck mobility as well. Inhaling and exhaling. So a breathing part is a big important part of doing this connecting tissue. So inhaling and exhaling. You can always stop a bit, and you can always pause this session. So reaching up and come in to center, lifting up towards the ceiling, up on our toes, pushing buttocks back and reaching up, inhaling and exhaling. So just waking up your body a bit, getting some movement, some blood flowing around in our body. Inhaling, reaching up, exhaling. So pointing arms out, thumbs are coming back, forming a V with our arms. And just a few more, getting a bit stretch, opening up in your chest area. And one more. Great. So we're going to be standing here. Right leg in front, left leg in the back. So you can choose between have your foot in here like you're up on a high heel, or maybe you want to go in here and lie on top of your foot instead. And I can already by now, a lot of people find it a bit itching around your toes, all those small joints. But that's a good way. We are walking around on those feet all day. So we're going to reach up, and we are going to look a little bit forward, and we're going to point the thumbs backwards, and we are reaching up with our chest. So a bit of a rhythm here, and pushing your hip a bit forward so you can feel the stretching around your shoulder joints, and you're going to push that hip a bit forward so you get a stretch here in front. So inhaling and exhaling. Nice position with your neck and reaching back, pushing hip a bit forward. And you can feel maybe that little bit of issue around your big toe on your left foot. Reaching up and stay put for a little longer. And we are gonna go up on our foot if you're not already there. Reaching forward and come all the way down, engaging a bit in your core area, and we're going to put that left leg down and reaching for our right leg and do a bit of a rhythm here. Let go of your neck and make sure that you are helping with your breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And as you do this bouncing movement, you get further into the stretch. So it's just gonna take a little bit of time, but you will eventually get there. So pushing a bit into that stretch. Try to keep both your knees in a straight position without locking your knees. Inhaling and exhaling. And a bit of the rhythm here. Letting go of your shoulders. No unnecessary tightness. And stay here for another few seconds. Feel your way, letting go in your face. Inhaling and exhaling. And we're going to step a bit forward with our left leg and into a position where feet are just next to each other, and we're going to roll it all the way up and pull shoulders down. And we're going to change, so we're going to put the opposite leg back, right leg here, either on those high heels or putting it up on your front of the foot. So in and reaching up. So straight elbows and pulling back a bit. So at the same time that you are pulling your arms backwards, you are pushing your hip a bit forward. So do those bouncing movements, inhaling and exhaling. So you should be focused, besides on your breathing, of course, on both that pulling back with your arms and pushing forward with your hip. So keep that long neck and a good position here. Inhaling, and don't think about anything else. Just as well as I won't recommend you listening to anything music. If you're new into this, you should just listen to your body. So stepping out on your foot, and we're going to put that heel down, reaching forward and reaching all the way down. Keep your knees straight position, hands are coming down, and we are going to do a little bit of a rhythm here. And chin is coming in, relaxing your neck and trying to reach, not saying that you should reach your nose to your chin, but you should try to go that direction. So straight knees, a little bit of a movement here, inhaling and exhaling. And hopefully you can feel you get a bit further into that movement, but if not, your connecting tissue might not be ready for that just by now. A little bit of engagement in your core area, so you have a nice position there, bouncing a little bit here, inhaling and exhaling. So don't ever go further into that stretch till you can keep your breathing nice and easy. Yeps. Coming back with that front, with your back leg, and we're going to stay put here. Just a little bit slight of a bend in our knees, resting our chest and our stomach on our thighs, and we are going to go up for one stretch at a time, straightening out that knee. Up we go, feel the stretch in your hamstring, easing off your neck, inhaling, exhaling. And if you cannot reach the floor, doesn't matter, you can put your hands on your legs and do the movement from here. So a bit going from a little bit of a flexed knee joint and straightening out, and try to stay connected with your chest towards your thighs. And let's go for another few. Feel your way, inhaling and exhaling, lifting yourself up a bit and come back into center in a good distance between your feet, lowering into a squat, arms in, connecting with your inner thigh. And we're going to do a little bit of a movement, pushing with our arms, pushing our thighs out to the side, opening up in our inner thighs. Shoulders away from ears, and a little bit of a tightness in your pelvic floor, and engage your core area, pushing out to the side, inhaling and exhaling. You can always go a bit further up and stay up here. If this is too far, maybe you have a knee issue, then you just go with that instead. So pushing out to the side, inhaling and exhaling. And we're going to put our hands onto the ground, and if this is too far, you might want to bring something you can put your hands on, a little chair or something else. And now we're going to move over to the right leg. So we're going to straighten it out in our left leg, and we're going to keep the right knee behind right toe, but we're going to do a bit of a rhythm here. So engage your core, relaxing in your shoulders, and just feel that opening continuing in your inner thigh on your left leg. Bouncing here, just that bit of a rhythm. And ask yourself if you're relaxing in your face, inhaling, exhaling. So not necessarily pushing your knees forward, bring weight back and go in for that bit of a bouncing movement here. And let's stay for another 4, 3, 2, and get into center and move to the opposite side. Maybe you want to move your hands a bit. So pushing buttocks back, knee behind toe, straight right leg, and maybe you can put your arm just around the area of your knee. Just make sure that it stays in a nice, safe place. So do the bouncing, the rhythm movement here, and hopefully you can feel that it's giving after a little bit. So think about this sliding, gliding system where you get your connecting tissue to move even better. Inhaling and exhaling. Small rhythm here. Stay for 4, 3, 2, and get back in to center. Move feet a little bit closer, and we're gonna roll it up and into a standing position, arms out to the side, and we're going to open up, doing a rotation, opening up here and in for an inner rotation in that shoulder joint. So don't think about your arms right now. You're going to feel it in your shoulder area. So think about moving that shoulder position forward and back. So opening up and bring it in again. So thumbs are going backwards and thumbs are coming forward and pointing a bit, all depending on the mobility in your shoulder joint. You're able to go a bit further in and opening up. Let's go for another 2 and be standing in a good position here. So maybe you want to get a little bit closer with your feet, opening up here. And we're going to stay put here. Get a retraction between the shoulder blades and moving thumbs out to the side. So staying in a little bit of a hip distance between your feet. Right arm is coming up, your chin is in, and we're just gonna go in different direction here with it. This connecting tissue, slightly loosening up in your knees, all the way up, right arm coming up, left arm coming down. And do remind yourself of the breathing, coming back into center. And we're gonna move our opposite arm up, the left arm up, and right arm coming down. Do a little bit of that stretching and a bit of a rhythm here. All the way up, and don't worry if you can't get into that full position, you just go with you. Inhaling and exhaling up to center and back in. And toes and knees are pointing out to the side. Hands are coming towards our shoulders, and we're going to do a rotation, and we're going to keep those elbows up, and we're going to go in for an opening up here. So do the rotation, and if you're not able to go all the way back, then you just go with you. Stay where you can feel it. Chest is up and chin is in, and do that rhythm while we're trying to look a bit further back. And if possible, let your head follow along, your side follow along, so you get the movement in your neck as well. Focusing on around that spine. Inhale, exhale, Nice light loosening up in your knees and go back into center. Inhaling, exhaling, and go for the opposite side. So opening up and do that turn. So opening your rotation. So sometimes I call this a car backing up. When you go for reverse in your car, are you able to do that twist so you can keep your eye going back, or do you just need to use the mirrors? It's always a good thing that you can open up and get into that stretch. Do the rotation and back in to center and loosening down. A bit less distance between your feet. Right hand on right hip, straightening your left arm over. A little bit of engagement here, chin is in, and we're gonna go in for a sideways stretch all the way up through here and leaning towards that right side. Chin is in, and just a bit of a supporting hand with your right hip area, straightening up, and maybe you can feel you get a bit closer to the ground with that hand. Get that stretch from your hip and all the way up. So stay put here and move your arm a bit further back. Inhaling, exhaling, reaching for that opposite side here, and opening up in your hands, reaching out. So try to pull those fingers apart. So reaching out, get a good nice stretch. Or commonly we do this during the day, but now you're stretching the opposite way. Put your hand on your hip and lifting up and reaching for the opposite side. Just reminding yourself to keep that heel down and reaching over and engage a bit in your core area. Supporting hand around your left hip and reaching over. Chin is in. And inhaling, exhaling, get all the way from that hip and up. Reaching, inhale, exhale. And straighten your fingers out to the side, all the way out as much as possible. Straight, 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 straight out to the side, and come back in to center. Relaxing your arms, hands on your thighs, and we're gonna look to the right side. Chin is a little bit towards your shoulder, your right shoulder, of course. You're standing here with easy position, and we're gonna look for that right side, and we're gonna do a little bit of a rhythm here. So just feel your way. You should be able to feel that something is giving a bit up here, but you should not feel uncomfortable. Inhaling and exhaling, and see if you could work with your breathing. And we're gonna go for that little bit of a position here for a rhythm. And go slowly towards your center and putting that right ear towards your right shoulder, and just keep it a little bit of a rhythm here. Pulling that right ear towards your shoulder, get a good stretch. Inhale, exhale, and up to center, and go for your opposite side. Relaxing your shoulders, breathing in, breathing out. Get into your position where you're comfortable to be at, and do a little bit of a rhythm, moving your head further backwards. Easy breathing, relaxing your shoulders, get connection with your core, standing up nice and tall. Pull a little bit out of the stretch and leaning with your left ear towards your shoulder, and do a bit of a rhythm here. Let me remind you to breathe, slow and easy. Lifting head up and bring your shoulders up, inhaling. Pull them back, exhale. Once again. And back and bring it down. Yep, loosening a bit up. And we're gonna move arms forward, inhaling as we're reaching up. And give it up and exhale, up again. Inhale and let go. Few more. Reaching up. And one final one. And let go. Exhale and loosening up. So this was a connecting tissue stretch for a standing position, and hopefully you'll come back and maybe you're going to do this combined with some of my other session here, so it can be a good alternative to always do more ordinary stretching. So feel a soreness in your body, maybe it's time for you to work on that connecting tissue. Thank you for joining me. Until I see you next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay strong.